What's up, guys? Trail here, better known as Budget Bill, and this is your third stimulus check update and stimulus package update for Wednesday, March the 6th. Y'all thought I was gonna mess up 2 days in a row, didn't you? You was just waiting to call me out in the comment section. I know y'all out there. Nah, but it is March the 10th, and I do own up to my mistakes, regardless of what my homeboy Bernie Sanders says about me. Anyways, good morning everyone, and boy does it seem like this is the biggest week in stimulus update news that we have had so far. I mean, this is going to be the biggest and largest stimulus check that Americans have received since the 2020 pandemic. And the first one was $1,200, the second stimulus check was $600, and now it's going to be $1,400. That's a total of $3,200 for individuals. Even though this may seem like a lot of money, it's really not a lot of money for most Americans that are struggling right now. But every bit of stimulus aid counts as the pandemic continues to hold this country down. But on the bright side, vaccines are rolling out faster than ever. More than 2 million people are being vaccinated every day, and there is a total of 3 vaccines available for Americans to help the fight against the virus. But today, we want to talk about these stimulus checks that are coming next week. Yes, I said it, next week. Not this week, but next week. The House will be voting on this bill sometime today, which we can expect this bill to pass with flying colors. Then the bill will be passed on to President Biden's desk later this week for his signature. And once that ink hits the pages of this massive stimulus bill, then Janet Yellen of the Treasury Department will blow the whistle to start those money printers, check printing machines, and Americans could start seeing their $1,400 stimulus checks in their bank accounts early next week. Hell, depending on how this goes, if we are lucky, some may receive them over the weekend. But don't get your hopes up too high. Let's just shoot for early next week and we will all be happy once again. Or until the 4th stimulus checks roll around later this year. Now, that's just a hypothetically speaking comment. There have been some rumors of a 4th stimulus bill in the plans for the future, but obviously only time will tell, especially considering the world is slowly on the recovery path.
Mr. Speaker, I think even last fall when the last COVID relief bill passed, you were already talking about having to do another bill in the new administration. Do you think this is the last primarily COVID bill that you'll have to take up?
You're just going to have to ask the virus. If it stops mutating, if it stops spreading and therefore mutating, then this will be. And some of the provisions in here that have a fuse, like the expanded tax, the enhanced unemployment insurance benefit that goes until the fall. We'll just see where we are then. But it's not anything anybody can predict. It's just a question of the science, and we will have legislation to address it for as long as it's there. Any comments?
Can I ask that a different way? I mean, you've talked about the importance of crushing the virus. Are you confident that provisions in this bill can do that?
Yes. Again, what is interesting about this virus is that it's resourceful. It mutates. It has variants. And so too must we be resourceful and resilient in how we deal with it. But we will be on top of it.
Although we don't know if a 4th stimulus bill will surface, we do have some monthly stimulus checks starting very soon. And no one is talking about this. And that's the money from the child tax credit that's included in the Biden stimulus bill.
I want to talk specifically, especially again, as it's International Women's Day, about that child tax credit, which if you are a single mother, for example, who's really been hit by this pandemic, and we know women have disproportionately to men, this could be something that could be particularly helpful. It's also something that reportedly the Dems are going to try to extend beyond just this year.
The legislation in the stimulus bill will expand the current $2,000 child tax credit into an advancement and refundable tax credit worth $3,600 for each child under the age of 6 years old, and $3,000 for children over 6 years old and under 17 years old. The uniqueness about this tax credit is that Congress is calling for the IRS to pay out the credit in advance to families on a monthly basis. This would be an additional $300 per month month per child under the age of 6 years old, or $250 per month for each child under the age of 17 years old. In order for parents to receive this child tax credit, individuals need to make less than $75,000 per year, and married couples making less than $150,000 per year. If you do qualify, these benefits will only last for 1 year, which means 12 months of direct payments as a child allowance. The bill is expected to start 90 days after the third stimulus bill is signed by President Biden. So we can expect this to start sometime near the mid-June area, if everything goes well this week with the vote in the House.
So that adds up to some significant money, and this is going to help people at the bottom of the income chain, people who aren't even earning enough income to pay taxes. And as you pointed out, Julie, it's a one-year plan, but I think this is a test to see, is this politically popular enough that Democrats could possibly make this permanent in some fashion next year?
So guys, this $1.9 trillion American Rescue Plan is huge. I mean, huge. We got one-time $1,400 stimulus payments coming, where couples with 4 children will be receiving up to $8,400. We have parents receiving recurring monthly payments of $300 per month or either $250 per month. We also have people on unemployment receiving $300 per week and extended through September the 6th. You have more stimulus aid for small businesses, vaccines and testing, schools receiving more money, state and local governments receiving more money, and many other things as well. And they are able to do this with no Republican votes in the Senate supporting this bill. Which brings me to a question. What do the Republicans plan on doing going forward? Will they continue to fight against money for the American people? Or will they realize their party is in trouble and start working on things that benefit the American people? I'm just curious. To me, it seems like all 3 stimulus bills that we have had so far had a ton of pork in each one of those bills. But the majority of Republicans and Democrats voted for the first 2 bills under President Donald Trump. But now, as the bill is under President Joe Biden, we got 0 votes from the Republicans. It just doesn't make any sense, guys.
It's hard for us to understand how the Republicans can vote against this bill because it has such an impact on their constituents.
Do we really want to play politics right now when Americans are suffering and really need these $1,400 stimulus payments, especially as benefits are set to expire next week? I don't think so, guys. It should be all about the American people. Put your politics to the side and let's go ahead and help the American people out, especially those that are struggling right now. But maybe I am biased because I fight for the struggling American every day. I have always done this before YouTube days, and I will continue to do it well after YouTube. But I'm curious to know your thoughts, guys. Drop me a line down below on how you feel about this. And last but not least, regarding the $15 minimum wage increase battle from the progressives, here is what Bernie Sanders had to say about it.
I promise you, we are going to raise that minimum wage to $15 an hour. We are not going to give up. This is not going to be the last vote on minimum wage. Trust me on that.
You're warning that it's a mistake to vote against raising the minimum wage. You want to see Democrats held accountable. Is that right?
Well, I think it's not only Democrats. This is really a sad state of affairs where, to the best of my knowledge, we don't have one Republican, not one Republican, who understands that we've got to raise the minimum wage to a living wage. But we have the majority leader here in the Senate supportive of it. We have the Speaker of the House, Pelosi, supportive of it. The vast majority of the American people are supportive. And the idea that we have a parliamentarian who was elected by nobody, who was simply a Senate staffer, making a determination that 30 million Americans are not going to get a pay raise is, to me, unacceptable. So we're going to win this, if not this week, in the near future. $7.25 an hour is a starvation wage, as you've indicated. It has not been raised by Congress since 2007. We got millions of people in this country who are working 40 hours a week, are living in poverty. Half of our people today, 50% of workers in America, are living paycheck to paycheck. They work 40 hours a week. They don't have a nickel to put into the bank for the future. So we have got to address that issue of low wages and millions of people struggling after working 40 hours a week, and raising the minimum wage will be a significant step forward. At the end of the day, this is what the working people of this country want. This is what the American people want, and we are going to pass it. Period.
And we will just close out this video right there. This has been your third stimulus check update news for today. If you enjoyed any of this information today or found it to be useful or actually like some of my jokes, be sure to hit the like button for me. It definitely helps out a lot and it tells YouTube to share this video with others. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button for me so that you can be a part of this community, and hit the notification bell to be notified of each new video. Again, hey, I appreciate you guys. I really do appreciate you guys stopping by and watching these videos every day, and I hope to see you on the next video. Peace.